Hey everyone, welcome back to Project Pixar. We are on our second entry here, and this is Pixar's second film, A Bug's Life. So Noah, how are you doing today? Oh, are those your bug antlers?
I'm a bug. I'm a buggy.
Oh man,
Oh, I'm good.
I thought
Good. I haven't been stepped on, so I mean, depending on who you are, that's a good thing.
right.
So
If you were a bug, you'd probably be pretty happy with that, I imagine.
yeah, I'd say so.
All right, well let's jump right into it. A Bug's Life. Why don't I go first? We'll say who's your favorite character. So for me, it's definitely, man, the side characters in this are so good, and I love the main trio of Flick, Princess Ada, and Hopper. Hopper, one of my favorite villains in all of Pixar. But I have to pick Flick. And I promise I'm not just a protagonist honk, but again, this character has always... He's always really spoken to me, and what stands out to me about Flick more than anything else is his courage. He is so brave and has so much courage in his heart, and like he probably doesn't even think that. He probably doesn't even think, he just wants to be noticed. He just wants to make a difference and be important. But the way he stands up to Hopper, I mean, it's so well reflected in Hopper's character how much that bothers him that this ant stands up to him repeatedly, and yeah, it's just it's inspiring. Like I was inspired by that character to have. Gosh, I wish I had that kind of courage. That when there was a bully or something wrong, that I could stand up and say, no, that is not right. I love that he does that. He changes the fate of that entire colony because he's willing to not just take the beating, to take the oppression that has been holding it down for all these years. He's like, no, we deserve better than that. We can fight for something better than that. And again, the funny thing is, I don't think Flick himself really even sees himself that way. Again, he just wants to make a difference. He says that himself. And I love his quirky personality as far as, like, he just wants to be an inventor. And the way he panics, like, the voice actor for him, I don't even recognize him from any other stuff, but... man, is he just...
It's Dave Foley.
Yeah, he is just...
Dave Foley. He was in News Radio.
Okay, yeah, he's just spot on. He captures, again, like, his panic and his... like, he has these moments of, like, oh my god, like, he explores every level of Flick, and I adore that character. Who's your favorite character?
Yeah, so I went with Hopper, because for me, he's the character that stands out the most. When I think about A Bug's Life, he's the first character that pops in my mind. Just because every moment that Hopper's on the screen is impactful. There's always something important happening when he's on the screen. There's always a feeling of tension when he's on the screen. And there's a general malice in Kevin Spacey's performance that really just comes across and makes for a very good, antagonist, very good bad guy. And he does that thing where, especially with his monologue, where, he pulls out, like, look, this is... They show his motivation and why he's all about, and thinks the way that he does, and why he is so oppressive to these ants, because you don't want to fall off the top of that hill. Like... Right. It's almost impossible to climb back up. You're looking out for number one. You're looking out for yourself. So, yeah, no, I and like he is his for me, like that, his monologue and just some of the best lines in the film.
Yeah, his lines are incredible.
Yeah. I would say, yeah, for sure that he is my favorite character in the film.
I love that you said he's just like dripping with malice, and like you said, I feel scared for the ants every time he's on, because not only is he like very physically intimidating, but like he's so intellectual too, which I love. Like he's clearly a smart bug. Like he's not just some. I'll kind of jump to favorite. This isn't my favorite line, but I have to mention this. Again, it's a very direct way of thinking. When he first breaks down onto the anthill at the beginning, they're looking for it, and she says, "Isn't it up there? It should be on a big leaf." And he just says, "Are you saying I'm stupid?" And she's like, what? And he's like, do I look stupid to you? And like, as an audience member, you're like, well, where's he going with this? Like, and then he says, let's just think about the logic for this for a second, shall we? Let's just think about it. If it was up there, would I be coming down here to your level looking for it? Like, again, the way he just totally demeans them. Is like, are you insane? I wouldn't even, I would dare be on the same plane as you if it was up there. Like,
Right.
Love the way he breaks that down. Great choice. So, jumping from our favorite character, what is your least favorite moment in A Bug's Life?
So I'll put it out there first. This is probably on the lower end of my favorite Pixar films. I just haven't seen it a whole lot, and I definitely like it. It's got lots of redeeming things about it. But I would say one thing that I've got Fallout New Vegas syndrome. One thing that disappoints me, I guess, is the scale of the city when he gets there. I thought it would be bigger. Like, I know he's a bug, but it just to me seems like it's just within this little can, and that's pretty much the scope of the city. And I feel like that you're getting like a block of Vegas in Fallout New Vegas until you get to a load screen. Anyway. Regardless, what I'm saying though is sometimes the movie really nails the scale, and I'll go into that more later, but like for that to me, like to be like the New York City or whatever for bugs, I expecting more.
Yeah, that's fair. I will go with, it's very minor, but it's just all the cutaways back to the blueberries playing with like Francis when he's injured, and just kind of the blueberry subplot line in general is like, again, it's very minor, and it's not that it's bad, like I'm not like but of all the things I'm just kind of like, that's like the thing I have the least interest in, is which is fun because I like Dot a lot, but none of her other blueberries really get much love or development, unfortunately. So while they have a place, that's definitely the thing I'm like, blueberries. All right. So you kind of mentioned this, maybe this is what you were leading to, in standout animation detail. So what is some animation that just really stood out to you in this film?
I think the thing that sticks out the most and is the first thing to hit you is the individual blades of grass. It's impressive on that scale, especially at the time. It makes the environment real and lived in, and it's to see that type of detail. And I would say that is definitely one thing that stands out, because it adds to the scale too. And as far as the scale, I love the moments with the bird, and I like the design decisions they made with the bird, like the chase scene with the bird. When they're on the what do you call it? A dandelion?
Yeah.
Bird. Yeah. It's just the inhumanness of just the straight instinct of the bird is intimidating and kind of scary.
Yeah.
They are scared of the bird for a reason, and they make a good point of showing why they're scared of the bird. And just in an animation wise, they did it a good job of just like making it seem natural. Like this is just a natural predator instinct.
Right.
And the most impressive thing though had to be the moment where the sky opens up at the end and the water droplets just start coming down. And in the fight in the rain and everything like that.
That was going to be what I said was the rain.
Yeah.
When Flick first looks past the cannon and you just see the shh. And then what a great sound design choice to have them have like a missile, like a mortar going off. These rain that again, like as a human you wouldn't even think about. Same with the bird, like it's just a little bird, but when you see, like there's a moment when the bird's trying to get him where the camera shows up at the bird and you see its beak go boom, 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 and it's smashing the ground. And again, as a human, it's just a little bird going tick, tick, tick. But to these bugs, holy cow. And there's a specific shot in the rain, and this will be my moment, when Hopper is chasing them, where again, you're so wrapped up to me in the emotion and the characters of the story, and it pans out and you just see these little bitty dots moving across this like pond, and it's just this little ant and this little grasshopper chasing each other, but it's like way zoomed out. I don't know if you remember that moment right before they get to the bird's nest at the end. And it always
don't per se.
well, anyway, it always stood out to me because again, it's basically as way zoomed as again what a human would see is like, yeah, you just see these little, and again, in there they've got this huge emotional, impactful conflict, and yet you don't know it because yeah, as a human you just see. Yeah. So always love that. Always love that. So. What are some first-time memories we have of this? I'll go ahead and go first. There's always the thing that the movie Ants came out very close to this film. And the funny thing is, Pixar has never really had very good trailers. And back then, I think I only ever saw the teaser trailer for this film, which was just like Heimlich eating a leaf or something. And, it was just said A Bug's Life. And I was just like, okay, what's that about? And Pixar hadn't really become a brand name yet. This was just their second film. So I remember going, it was like the old Halls Ferry Road Theater, going to see it. And it was like, oh, okay, it's that leaf eating movie. And at the end of it, I was like, oh my god, this movie was amazing. I loved it. So yeah, it was just funny because I remember just kind of how disinterested I was to see it. And then afterwards, I was like, it's amazing. And I'll say for me, this is one of my favorite Pixar films. I know this gets underrated a lot by a lot of people, or maybe it's just not but for me, this is like one of my top ones. So yeah, I remember having that turnaround of like, bugs, who cares? Bug, I care. What about you?
So I did not see it in theaters. I don't know if maybe I just wasn't that interested in it, or who I was, around at the time wasn't interested in it. But I didn't see it in theaters, but I had a chance to. Instead, I saw the movie Jack Frost with Michael Keaton, where he turned into a snowman.
Nice. Okay, I know that film. Yeah,
so instead I saw that. Yeah, that wasn't the right choice. But but regardless, that's what sticks out to me with my memories of A Bug's Life. Yeah, that would be mine.
Very nice. Is there a musical moment that stands out to you?
No. The music is fine. It's nice. It's pleasant at the beginning. I remember it being appropriate in all the moments that it was, but nothing stands out to me.
Well, I've got two, so I can cover for you if you'd like.
Okay, well, you go ahead, because I got nothing.
Okay, so for me, again, actually, I really like this score by Randy Newman. So the first one I'll say, and what we can say, is when it's near the end, it's near the climax, and it's when they're getting the fake bird, launched out of the tree. And they finally, Hopper's like strangling their performers, he's getting really agitated, and they finally get the stick holding it knocked down, and it hits, and they go, oh, here we go, and it does a camera shot from outside the tree, like coming down, and the music goes dun 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 dun, and you see the bird like, it dives down. So cool, love that. And then just the ending shot, which is that when the circus bugs are leaving, and they do the company salute, and they all turn around with the new harvesters that Flick has, and they pull them, and they create fireworks. They have these like little wheat stalks that explode and make fireworks. And Randy Newman's, it's a da 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 da. It's a really like triumphant, like, and again it just pans out, and you see Ant Island, and the end comes up.
That sounds very kind of militaristic.
Does it? Yeah, maybe that was intentional. I don't know.
Kind of, well, I mean, yeah, it sounds like close to like a 4th of July type kind of. Would make sense, they were shooting out fireworks, so.
Yeah, I think that's like the main Bug's Life theme, and I love that theme. That sticks out to me a lot, so big thumbs up for me. Okay, all right.
Yeah, so, yeah, Travis, what since you're such a stan for this film, what would be your favorite line of dialogue or humorous moment from the movie?
It's definitely not humorous, I'll say that.
Okay,
this is hard because there's two that come to mind, so I hope you don't mind that I point to two.
No, you ruminate.
I will do that. So, again, one comes, hopefully I won't take your moment, one comes from Hopper and one comes from Flick. And from Hopper, I mean, he has so many good moments, but, it's his monologue in the sombrero hat. When, was that going to be yours?
No,
okay.
No.
And like you said, the way he processes that, where he's like, we're staying here. We're going back to Ant Island. And he was like, but there was that ant that stood up to me. And they say, yeah, but that was just one ant, And he says, hey, you're right. It's just one ant. And they say, they're puny. He says, puny? Let's pretend this seed is a little ant. And he throws it at the grasshopper. Did that hurt? No. He goes, oh, how about this one? They all, of course. I said, then how about this? And he just rips it off, and it just buries them. And then he has that, you let one ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Anybody else want to stay? Like, just, you completely understand him in that moment. And then, like, especially watching it this time, as I've gotten older, it was so easy to relate that to, like, real-life politics. That, yes, the thousands of masses of people have the power, and if they were to ever actually figure that out, we do outnumber the rich and the elite 1,000,000 to 1. We just have to figure, so I just love that moment from Hopper. And for Flick, it's this moment that's inspiring of courage, that it's after the bird gets destroyed, the fake bird, and Hopper's, whose idea was this? Was it yours, princess? And he, he's getting ready to assault them. Everyone knows how physically dangerous he is. And Flick jumps out of the bird and he says, leave them alone, Hopper. The bird was my idea. I'm the one you want. And then he gets his ass beat by Thumper. But he still doesn't care. He still says, I will take responsibility for this. And then Hopper, is like, you're lower than dirt. You're an ant. And he says, you're wrong. Ants aren't meant to serve grasshoppers. I've seen these ants do a lot of incredible things. I don't know what the word is. And in this part of the line, he says, and year after year, we somehow manage to pick food for ourselves and for you. So who's the weaker species? Ants don't need grasshoppers. It's you who need us. Fucking goosebumps, man. Love it. What is your favorite line, dialogue?
Good line. So I'm gonna go with a humorous moment. I like a lot of the troops moments. They have a lot of great moments. Flaming Death is great.
Yeah.
My favorite though, it has to be the moment when the blueberries put on the play for the for the troop, and they they're all dying, and the one on the ground, die. And
they all
that has to be that's the funniest moment to me in the film. I love that moment.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, what's our next question?
So, any complaints? Anything that you would do differently with this movie? Anything stick out to you?
Man, that's hard because I like this film so much. I kind of mentioned the blueberries earlier about my least favorite moment. Is there anything I would change? I don't know. I think Hopper gets a perfect death. It's very deserving. I really like where most of the characters end up. Hopper.
And I was thinking Flick. I was like, wait, Flick didn't
yeah, don't you remember how they kill Flick off again? No, not at all.
No.
Gosh, I'm trying to think. Yeah, that kind of like Toy Story for you. There's just not a whole lot of this where I think the pacing drags or anything of that nature. Like you said, maybe some of the blueberry stuff a little bit. But for the most part, I really enjoy all of that. So I hate to cop out with that, but I'm not going to also force an answer that I don't have. So
hey, and you shouldn't have to, especially with Pixar films.
Right. What about you?
So I would say, being that I'm not the biggest fan of this film, the biggest fan of this film, whatever. But so the movie really revolves around three character groups: the ants, the grasshoppers, and the troop. Mm-hmm. Of the three character groups, to me, the ants are the least interesting. They're kind of there's a variety of them that are the same repeated idea of them being a stick in the mud, mm-hmm. kind of, and very diligent and just work, and so it's basically Flick, those people, and like the royalty, and the blueberries.
Yeah.
But and so it's a lot of kind of repeated ideas within the ants, and I don't know, I guess I just never really clasped onto like the queen as a character or Princess Ada's okay, but she's not my, I don't have like a huge um, affiliation for her or anything like that. So I would say, yeah, that would be my biggest thing is kind of retool maybe some of the ant stuff. Because there definitely are great moments. I think it's the pacing when it goes to the ants maybe is just a little bit lighter, a
Yeah.
little I don't know.
That's fair.
So that's what I would say.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. Do you have any closing thoughts you want to share about A Bug's Life?
Yeah, no, I mean it's a good. Don't get me wrong, it is a good film. Like it's just that Pixar is so great overall that, if the subject matter isn't the most interesting to me, then that's just unfortunately it's gonna fall a little bit lower. And I don't like bugs, so.
That's fair. That's a very valid reason. There are so many moments that I haven't even touched on in this film that I love. I don't know why, but I get such a giggle out of when the leaf falls at the beginning and the guy in the line's like, "I'm lost," and the guy has to come over, follow my eyes, don't look away. This is nothing compared to the twig of '93. Which I love. It's such a great little line. Oh, nice little animation moment I forgot to mention is I just love Hopper snapping his fingers because he has two arms, but they never snap like in perfect sync. You get this little bit of delay between his two hands snapping. The character Molt is really funny. Like I said, I didn't even talk about the troupe much, but they're really amusing. Is funny. Like, yeah, I honestly I don't know why. Like, I can understand the reasons why other people like this film, but I don't know, maybe it's more of a nostalgia thing because I saw it so early, but I just love it. Or maybe I just really relate to those main characters so much that, I remember when because it's kind of one of those what they call liar revealed stories. So when you have that liar revealed moment in the middle where they're like, oh, the bird was Flick's idea, like, it breaks my heart when Ada was like, you lied to her, Flick, you lied to the colony, you lied to me. And she was like, and I'm an idiot for believing you. Like, I feel for him. So I really love this film. Again, it's in my top 5 Pixar for sure. Go ahead.
I will say one thing. I do appreciate the fact, and if people don't realize it, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but I appreciate the fact that on their second film, Pixar decided to do a rendition of Seven Samurai featuring bugs.
I've never seen that movie. Is it basically the same kind of story?
Same idea, like a village getting picked on is not the right word, but being,
raided and bullied.
Costed by, by bullied essentially. And so this person goes out and tries to find these legendary group of warriors to come and protect the town. So
nice. Yeah. That's cool. I'll have to check that film out. That was great. Folks, thank you for joining us for A Bug's Life. Yeah. Thank you for joining us for A Bug's Life. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and we will see you next time for, what do we got, Toy Story 2?
Toy Story 2, You Got a Friend in Me.
Woo!
Twice.
See you later.